AGB 202. Hey, how's it going? This is Doug. Purpose of this short video is just to walk you through the syllabus so you have an idea of what it is we're doing in this class and the pace and the cadence and how things are kind of set up. So stay tuned because this is everything to do with your success in this class, which is measured, one, by a grade, but two, but what you get out of it. And that's a little bit of what we'll talk about. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and we'll look at it a couple different ways. One way is on Canvas. There we go. Okay, there you go. You see all that? Okay, and there's a section. This is AGB 202. This is us. How is this laid out in here? So I've got a welcome section. You're going to kind of blast through that in your first week. Resources, I've scanned the first 2 chapters of the textbook, but that's it. You'll have to buy it for everything after that. I've got office hours, evening for those of you that are working. That's Wednesday, 7 to 8 p.m. And then, or anybody, but also Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. So I'm available for you as much as I can, given maybe some alternate school and work schedules. So the syllabus section is what I'll be going through here. And let me try and zoom this up a bit. There we go. I've also have this as something that you can download here. So the same information is in either place. So let's just start with the basics. The basics of this class are outlined here in the course description, where we're going to teach you the skills that are needed to persuade and successfully create a sales pitch. Do that pitch. We'll also be learning how to interview. We'll also interview some sales professionals, and you'll also do a product presentation project, in which case you'll be simulating as a group an internal pitch, selling within your company, and then an external pitch as you also create some collateral. So it's all kind of coming and in there. So learning objectives can be here, and everything a little bit about this course is defined there. Boom. Okay. So what about the grades, Doug? So first part, you'll have some generalized chapter topic assignments. That's worth 10% of your grade. And then you'll have 10 quizzes. That's worth 15%. You'll have a midterm, which is 15%. Now into the projects, Persuasion Choice Project, which is the Sales Pro or the Interview Prep you choose, is worth 20%. There's the Sell It Pitch with your script and your final pitch that you'll be submitting. That's worth 20%. And then the last project is also the final, it's product presentation. That's worth 20%. So this class is 40% based on book chapters and topics, 60% based on projects. And in true learning by doing environment, this makes a lot of sense because really the 3 steps of learning are learn it, do it, and then the third is teach it. And at some point, I'm going to figure out how to have you teach it. Maybe have some of you come back as TAs or something, or maybe you come back as a lecturer or professor at some point. But anyway, that's really where you know you understand it, is when you can teach it. So if I can get you to learn it and do it in this class, that's going to be a big win. Okay, so chapter topic assignment. So every chapter kind of has a theme, like openings or strategy or probes or objection handling, whatever. So I have an assignment that is there to support that. So every chapter has a quiz, every chapter has an assignment. So you can expect that. Everything except for the final, but everything else is due by midnight on Friday. That's super easy to figure out, right? Now you can get started on the next week, that following Saturday. So you'll have Saturday through Friday midnight to do the next week of work. So if you want to work ahead within that week, you have that flexibility to do so. Okay, so I mentioned every chapter has a quiz. So these quizzes are delivered via Canvas. They're not timed. They're online, they're open book, and it's your best score out of 2 attempts. Hey, that's pretty good. So you will have 2 shots at it. Um, your highest score obviously gets added. Now, if we will do at the end a formal course evaluation, in which case, if we get at least 80% of class to submit a formal eval through the Cal Poly, you may remember that, we will drop your 2 lowest quizzes, and I'll also drop your 2 lowest assignments. So this is a big deal for me personally, that I get your feedback, because this list, you know, you can see it's long, it's all small print. I've been teaching this for 5 years, right? And every quarter I improve upon it based on my own feedback, but also feedback from the eval. So I really do take this into account to continually improve the delivery of this course for you. There is a midterm. It is online. It's open book, delivered via Canvas, and it's the best of 1 attempt. So it's only 1 attempt. You'll have 2 hours to complete it, okay? So you can start it anytime within that week, but as soon as you start it, the timer goes, you have 2 hours to finish it up. Now into project land, we've got 3 projects. The first one is the Persuasion Choice Project. And I realize not everybody is here to learn how to be a salesperson. Some are quite sure they don't want to, and that's totally okay. There is another way to think about this class. It's a persuasion communication class that you can use to get a job. You can learn how to interview. It's the same skill set, if you can believe that, of selling and selling yourself in an interview. So this is an opportunity to apply these skills, learn how to interview. You've got maybe interns coming up, internships or jobs coming up. Whatever the case is, selling yourself is the same thing as selling a product or service. You are the product in this case. So that's one option. If you want to learn how to interview, you can do that. The other one is called the Sales Pro. And that's where you're going to interview a sales representative in any industry, and interview them with several questions as defined by the chapter topics of the book. Then you're going to submit a report, okay, on all of that. So there are equal points either way, about equal workload. It just depends on where your head's at. Do you want to learn how to interview, or do you want to really have an interface with a professional salesperson and see what they say? You may find that they do things differently than I'm teaching or than the book says. And some things you may find like, dang, this is what Doug talked about. So that's good. You have to get this from a lot of perspectives. So that's a good thing. So Persuasion Choice Project, that's worth 20%. Next one is the Sell It Project. And as the book goes through these chapter topics, you'll learn all of these. Eventually we'll get to the sales process, starting with openings, and then rapport building, and then into probes, et cetera, featured benefits and all. So you will incrementally build out your sales script as we learn these things. And this does have to be ag related, food or a product, very simple. And then you're going to be building out the script as we learn it. And then the final of it is not the final, but the part 2 of the project is to submit your video. And this is a recorded video. Yes, you're going to have to record it, submit it, and that will be the Sell It Project. All right. The third one is Product Presentation Project. And this is a group project. You'll be assigned to a group. You'll be assigned an item, a food item, and a grocery chain to sell it to. And this is a cool new project that people really liked, and I really developed over the last quarter, and have some new improvements for how it's going to roll out for you. But basically, as a group, you're going to create some collateral, which is a product highlight one sheet and a gap analysis. Then as a group, you're going to present or pitch to your company internally seeking their permission to go pitch this food item to the grocery chain that you've been assigned to pitch to. So you're going to get, so sales is inside and outside. So this is an example of selling internally. It's same ideas, right? And so it's a way for you to understand kind of the differences. It's different audiences. They're going to want some different things, but there's some overlap. So you're going to develop the material. You're going to first come together as a group with a project plan, develop the material, do your internal pitch. And then the last part is also the final for the class, which is the external pitch. So that is, sorry, I'm tilting that down a little bit. That's the bulk of the class. Now, late work policy, unless approved by me, the maximum score for late submissions will go down 10% per day after the due date for up to 5 days. So if you do the math, that earns you an F if you wait that long. So turn it in late. That's okay. But you won't yield the highest grade if you do it perfectly, but at least you're not missing all the points. If I don't have your submission by the end of dead week, everyone who didn't turn it in gets an F. So this is very real. Due dates are a big thing, obviously, in industry, and it's important to acknowledge those. There are some things in industry that are not forgiving at all, in the sense that if it's late, it's 0. And I could be that hardcore with you on this, but it's a little too early. It's an intro class and trying to figure out a lot of things. But just know in industry, there are some very hardcore deadlines. I'm going to take you down 10% per day. All right, some stuff about technologies and browsers. And then I think this is a lot of just kind of boilerplate stuff. How do you get help? You know, that's the thing. You're remote. How do you get help? So here's a number, an email for technical assistance. Here's some help with Canvas, some guides, and then DRC, Disabled Resource Center, is also available for anybody that needs accommodations along those lines, and you know who you are. All right, and that is, okay. So we get into a little bit of the anatomy of the class. So you got a little sneak peek about week 1. So each week, so if you see how this is laid out, each week, I made it, again, based on feedback. People are like, Doug, I really just need this broken down by week. It's kind of confusing. So it takes a lot of time to do it, but I think it helps. So in week 1, I'm big into music. So I'm going to have some kind of song pairing with some song that goes with the topic. It makes it fun, right? There's the, well, in this case, the syllabus quiz. There's the recorded lecture. I may have some other videos for you to watch. Here's the quiz for that particular chapter. Here's the assignment. Here's another assignment about you. This is a video where you're going to tell me about who you are, and there's some guidelines in there. And then a discussion. This is a new part where you can kind of exchange some ideas, a little bit of a social element to it, because we're not sitting in the same class. So you can kind of get to know each other that way. So that's week 1. So you got a lot of things that should be kind of all lined up for you. And then if you kind of look forward to week 2, we got the song of the week, 2 lectures, 2 quizzes, in this case, 3 assignments. These are rad assignments, so I couldn't cut any of them out. So they're very helpful, but nonetheless, they are topical for what's going on. And then you kind of just move on from there. So you see how this is all laid out by week. I'm going to take you all the way down to the bottom because it's important for you to know what's there. The projects. The submissions are all up in the weeks, but the project explanations and examples and resources are all at the bottom of the page. So make sure you scroll down there to find that. So for persuasion choice, all you would do is click on the overview. We'll do that. And then you'll see, this is, remember the Sales Pro or the interview one, right? Real high level. And then it goes into detail sales pro part 1, part 2 with some rubric sections. So you know what it is I'm looking for. 1, 2, like that. So that is what you'll find in the project section at the very bottom. The other things you'll find are for interview prep people. So you're not doing the sales pro thing. There's some materials that you'll have to review, like videos, guides, etc. So that's where those are all parked. And again, in the particular week, that's where you submit it. For Sell It, here's an overview of the project. I've given you 7 examples of what I really liked, including one. This is a director's cut of me pausing and voicing over what I liked about what I saw on that. So you can see what they did, hear what I had to say, and then you can kind of learn the rubric that way as well. So here's an example one that I did with the script. Here's the blank script. You're going to start your own. And then here's some practice rubrics if you want to practice that. Now this is the product presentation one. This is the group assignment where you're going to be developing the collateral, an internal pitch, and then an external pitch. So that's all the projects are at the bottom, and everything else is all outlined by week. Okay, so that's how that goes. Now for you that are out there that are kind of more, gee, I don't like clicking on stuff, I want to see it laid out. I have the downloadable syllabus. And so the top section explains everything that I just explained. This might be a cool thing to print out if you do that. But by week, it shows you what chapter quizzes are happening, what's due, what general assignments are due, and then what project assignments are due. So this should keep you on track with what's going on with AGB 202. All right, guys, I promised you a short video. As you see right here, I want to introduce my spirit section over here. This is my father-in-law's, what's that called? Letterman's jacket, thank you, from when he was here at Cal Poly. It's so rad to have that. I also have my spirit stuff here. And of course, my Mustang's Forever #1 and all that. So, in my shirt. So I'm super stoked to have you guys in the class. I'm sorry, have y'all in the class. And that's the syllabus. If you have any questions, a lot of ways to get in touch with me. One of them is my email address, and that's also on Canvas. That's also in the document that is the downloadable version that has all the explanation. Peace.